And I hate that, because that gets me every time.
Oh no! The night is finally here. The best time of the year, if you're a theme park fan, is upon us. Halloween Horror Nights started last night, and we are here to experience it all for ourselves tonight.
I have been having like major anxiety all day about going through the houses for the very first time, but I am so excited, especially for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I know that's a little controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it is my favorite show. So that is probably my most anticipated house for this year. I just cannot wait. Yeah,
so the game plan for tonight, we don't have Express, we're not doing an RIP tour or anything like that. We are doing Stay and Scream, so I think we're gonna stay over in Finnegan's and try to do Stranger Things first, as well as Dueling Dragons, and I think The Exorcist is also in that holding zone. We're gonna try to do as many houses as we can. Of course, we have to get pizza fries. It is the first night for us of HHN, so we have to do that. And we'll just see how much we can get done tonight. No rush to do everything. We have frequent fear, so we're gonna be here like all the time. We're gonna see how much we can do in a single night. So come along with us. It's time for Halloween Horror Nights. We are making our way inside of Universal Studios. Park closes at 5 o'clock. It's about 4:30 now, so we're gonna head inside, head over by Finnegan's, and get in our Stay and Scream area. As we're heading inside, I do want to mention that this video is gonna have strobe lighting, some horror elements, adult themes, so just be aware that viewer discretion is advised. So we are inside the park. We found the Stranger Things 4 queue, and this is where we are gonna be jumping in line. And while we're waiting in the Stay and Scream area, they're bringing out some props for the Vamp 69 Scare Zone. Look at that. Also in the New York Scare Zone is the holding area for The Exorcist Believer and Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate. You have to choose one of the houses when you get in line, but there are 3 different options. So if you finish one of them, you could probably hop in the line for the other one. All right, first house of the night is gonna be Stranger Things 4. We waited about 45 minutes in the Stay and Scream. Are you ready?
I'm ready. This was my most anticipated house, so I cannot wait for this.
So Stranger Things 4 is over where Halloween was last year. We have to walk through the Jimmy Fallon queue to get over to the house. So we're not allowed to film inside any of the houses. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the camera away. We're gonna go do the houses, and as soon as we get out, we'll give you guys our thoughts. That's gonna be the format for like the rest of the night. So we'll go through the house and then let you know what we think. All right, so we just got out of our first house of the night, which was Stranger Things 4, and holy cow, it was really, really good. First off, the set design in that house was incredible. Like, it really felt like you stepped directly into the scenes from the show. I thought it was great.
Yeah, if you were a fan of the show, this is 100% a must-do.
Yeah.
There weren't like a ton of jump scares, but there was one point that scared the crap out of me.
Got you good.
Yeah, it got me good. But like Matt said, like there's certain times if you're not going through like at the right time, you might miss certain scares. So we like slowed down to make sure we saw everything. But definitely, like, that was awesome.
We didn't have like the best run through of it, like as far as timing of the scares, but if you slowed down at certain points, you were able to catch certain ones.
Yeah.
And there's one scene where Eddie is down in the Upside Down and Dustin is up above. Once you get into that room, make sure you look up because you'll see Dustin up there. It's something like if you don't look up, you won't see it.
I think a lot of people are going to miss that, so you have to make sure you look up.
Yeah, it was really, really good. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you're really going to enjoy this. Again, the sets are amazing. It's one of my favorite things about HHN with the sets, and then the costumes were good.
The costumes were really good. That's what I was going to say, too. Like, Vecna looked awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna head on to our next couple of houses. I think we're gonna stay over here in New York, try to do Dueling Dragons and the Yeti house. We'll go see what those waits are like. This is why you do Stay and Scream. That's why you got park open. 70-minute wait for Stranger Things. So house number 2 is gonna be Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate. And this one has a couple of different endings. You actually get to choose fire or ice at the end. It's currently a 20-minute wait, pretty short, so we're gonna get in line. So I mentioned Stay and Scream a couple of times in this video, and I just wanted to say, if you're not familiar with what that is if you have a day ticket or an annual pass to Universal, you're allowed to come into the park before the park closes, and then once the park closes, you wait in a holding area for certain houses. So you get to literally stay in the park if you have a ticket or an annual pass. If you have neither and you just want to do Stay and Scream, they have an option called the Scream Early add-on. I believe it's $40, and I think it's the same $40 no matter what night it is. You could purchase that, add it onto your Halloween Horror Nights ticket, and that will allow you to come into the park early to participate in Stay and Scream. Also wanted to call out that the time is now 6:30, which is the official start time of the event. So we are going to be going into our second house right when the event starts. Time for Dueling Dragons. Heading on in. All right, so we just got out of house number 2, which was Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate. It was really good. Honestly, better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And again, the set design in that house was amazing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to beat that. It was so cool. There was a life-size castle in there, 2 dragons. It was great.
Yeah, and what I liked about this one is you choose which side you want to go to at the end. So like each time that you go through, it can be a different ending.
Yeah, so you choose between fire and ice because fire and ice are battling each other, and we chose fire, and it's very brief. It's just like one little room. You make one turn. There's like 2 scares in there, and that'll give you the outcome of the story. It'll tell you whether fire won or lost. Same thing on the other side for ice. It was awesome.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think my favorite thing about this house was the set design, like Matt said. Like, I can't believe there was like a whole castle inside of there. It was insane.
And the costumes were really, really good. Like, there was like the ice creatures in there. They all had like crystals coming out of their head. It was great.
Yeah.
Now, we're here with a friend, and he went on the ice side, so we're gonna let you know what he thinks about ice and what he thought about the house as well. So we summoned our 3rd member of the Scream Squad. This is our buddy Connor. Now Connor went on the ice side for Dueling Dragons.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I thought it was really cool. I think from what you guys described, it's very similar, but of course with ice theme, so more blues and stuff. I will say you see some of the characters throughout the house, like what you're gonna see at the end of the ice house, you'll see kind of during the course as well, kind of like what you guys saw with the red. So I like the ice characters better. I thought they were cooler, no pun intended. So it was kind of awesome to see them all at the very, very end. Win or lose, it's all awesome at the end.
So the event started only about 30 minutes ago, and Stranger Things is already a 2-hour wait. So we're heading into New York now, which is our first scare zone. This is Vamp 69. See, they got some hippie vampires out here. Oh, look at all the fog. Wow. Looks like there was a concert that went wrong over here. We got some props. There's the car that we saw earlier.
He just got right in my face.
Oh, this guy's holding a head. Oh, he's part of the Blood Slayers. That's the biker gang.
His house.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Over here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at the bus. Oh, look, she's creeping through the other side. Oh, no. I will say, once the lights go out and once it becomes like nighttime, Vamp 69 is going to be really scary because almost all of the scare actors are wearing regular clothes. Like, they're just dressed in t-shirts and jeans. So once it's dark out and you really can't tell who's who, they're going to get you good. We found the roaming Megan horde. They do like a choreographed dance. It looks like right now they're just posing for photos, which is pretty cool. You get your photo taken along with Megan. So house number 3 tonight is going to be Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. It's the shortest wait in the park right now outside of Dueling Dragons. It's a 35-minute wait, so we're going to knock this one out, and then we'll see what else we can do. So now that like Chucky's queue goes through the Fast and the Furious queue, is Chucky part of the family?
He's officially part of the family.
Connor conquered his fear.
No.
This was the one house you were scared of.
Yeah, I'm afraid of 2 things in life, the IRS and Chucky. And he lived up to it.
Okay, so we just got out of Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, which was our 3rd house of the night. It is 7:40 p.m., so technically the event's only been open for about an hour and 10 minutes. We're 3 houses in.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty good as far as timing. That house was okay. Like, it was cute. Just definitely not my favorite of the 3 that we've done so far.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm also not like a Chucky fan.
Yeah, some people are like huge Chucky fans, and I feel like if you are a big fan, you might like it better than us. We're not really that big of fans. but there were some jump scares that got me. Like, I have to say, like, I got scared a few times.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like about this house is if you are planning on watching the USA Sci-Fi series, they show you every kill that happens in the show.
Yeah.
And we got like a little more than halfway through season 1. We wanted to watch a little bit before we came to see the house, just so we kind of knew what to expect. And we saw like a bunch of kills that were in the show.
Yeah, it kind of ruins the show for you.
Yeah, it kind of like spoils the show. It doesn't make you want to watch the show because you already find out everything that happened. But the puppets were pretty cool in there. There were live scare actors mixed in. I thought it was going to be like all puppets, but there were definitely some live people mixed in. Chucky was like up above. He was coming out the side.
Yeah.
It was cute. Like, definitely, like I said, not my favorite of the 3 that we've done so far. We'll see where it ranks at the end of the night, but it is what it is. Yeah. It's okay. Our second scare zone we are walking through now is Shipyard 32. And I already see some scare actors on stilts over here. Oh my gosh. I just love that smell of that fog too. Oh, good timing. It's cool to come through like while the lights are still out.
I know, you can see everything so much better.
So right next to Shipyard 32 is the Peacock Halloween Horror Bar. They have this truss set up with some backgrounds, and I think this is where you can come and meet David S. Pumpkins. I don't see him out at the moment, so we'll swing by a little bit later on.
It's always so hard to see in here too with all the fog, and it's like, especially when it's dark out, at least we still have some sunlight, but it's always so hard to get through here.
Oh yeah, we are heading into Central Park, which is going to be our 3rd scare zone, and this is Jungle of Doom. Look at all the red lights. There's supposed to be little bats hanging up in a tree, and you see the big bat right over there. Of course, they got the Dr. Oddfellow symbol. Stopping off at our first food booth of the night, which is right next to the Starbucks. This is where you can get the walking taco. This is the Cafe La Bamba Eats and Treats. They have a walking taco as well as a vegan walking taco and an al pastor torta, vegan churritos with ice cream, chicharrones, and then some specialty drinks and alcohol. So not the best lighting, but here's a look at the inside of the walking taco. There's some ground beef, pico, lettuce, Fritos. I think there's beans in there. I got mine with no sour cream. I'm not a big sour cream guy, but that is a look at the inside of it. Actually, it's a decent amount of food for the price. So we got a little bit of food in us. We're about to hit house number 4 of the night, which is going to be the Darkest Deal. While we're in line for Darkest Deal, we can see the facade for Dr. Oddfellow. It's set up like a circus tent. Get ready for the long walks and the long switchbacks. So here is the outside facade of the Darkest Deal. We're gonna head inside of Bub's Lounge. The premise of this is a musician named Pine Straw Spruce decides to sell his soul in order for fame. We just got out of house number 4, which was the darkest deal out of the 4 houses that we've done so far. That was definitely the scariest house.
Yeah, there was at least 2 times that people literally got like this close to my face and like made me scream.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's always nice when the original houses are very good, and that was a very good original house.
Yeah, the costumes in there were really, really good. The actors that played Pine Straw Spruce, who's the main character of the story, were awesome. The makeup was great, sets were good, and they had some like creative scares in there. They used like the instruments to kind of get creative with how they scared you. I really enjoyed that. It was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. Coming in, this was like towards the bottom of my hype list, but so far through 4 houses, other than Stranger Things, that's my favorite house.
So the backstory of this house, I think, was like a guitar player that like sold his soul to the devil, right?
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, of course things go wrong. We run into like other creatures that also sold their soul in that like one of the final rooms, which was really, really cool how that room was set up. Yeah. Again, a very, very well done original house. I'm excited to see the rest of the original houses because that was the 2nd original that we saw. We saw 2 IPs, 2 originals, but so far so good. We are approaching Beverly Hills, which is going to be Dark Zodiac, but had to get a quick look at the iconic Mel's Die-In all lit up. They weren't going to do this year because Mel's is getting worked on. They decided to change their mind.
I hear chainsaws up ahead, so I'm putting my earplugs in.
Uh-oh. I hear chainsaws. Here we are, making our way into Dark Zodiac. Look at these creatures. Oh my gosh. We got the Dr. Oddfellow symbol projected on the floor over here. Let's see who else we can see. I see some creepy ones. Oh no! Oh no.
No, absolutely not with the clowns. No.
There is Dr. Oddfellow, just patrolling his own scare zone over here.
Coming emerged from the jungle, I find myself.
All right, house number 5 is currently posted at an 80-minute wait. It just jumped up from 35 minutes, so we're gonna test it out because it's a pretty big jump. I don't know if I believe the wait time, but it's gonna be Blood Moon Dark Offering. So what's nice about the Blood Moon queue is that the entire thing is pretty much indoors, unless it's like super long and then this room gets backed up to the outside, but you're indoors in the air conditioning almost the whole time. Okay, so we just got out of house number 5, which is Blood Moon Dark Offerings. This one was like a colonial style house that had some like, I don't know if witches, I don't think witches is
it was
the word.
It was like a cult kind of.
Yeah.
Almost like Salem witch trial-y. Like,
yeah. Definitely creepy.
Yeah.
Again, another fantastic job of set design in there. Very gory right from the beginning. That was definitely the goriest house that we've been in, including Chucky, which was pretty gory. But that one was like blood everywhere.
And there was a lot of jump scares, at least for me in that one. Like a lot of people got me good in there.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes in there. We won't give you all the details, but if you remember from last year in the Weekend's house where they had like the dummies mixed in with the actual live scare actors. And then what was the other house that had? Halloween, right, with all the Michael Myers at the end. Very similar concept in 2 of the rooms of this house, but
I hate that, because that gets me every time.
I will say it was better than I thought it was going to be, and I think it is the scariest house that we've done.
Yeah, I think
Darkest Steel was scary, but I think this one was scarier.
I think those 2 are definitely at the top of our list for scariest so far.
Yeah, so another great job of set design, good scares, some creative ones in there too. Definitely the scariest house that we've done so far. So since we're right over here in New York, we're gonna hop in line for Yeti Campground Kills. very, very excited to check this out. This is over where Dead Man's Pier was last year. It's currently a 45-minute wait. Hey guys, so as I was editing this video, I realized we never filmed a clip where we actually reviewed the Yeti house. So here's a quick little review of Yeti Campground Kills. It was a fun house. It's definitely the campy house of the year. Like, think of Bugs Eaten Alive from last year, like how it's kind of like silly, but at the same time, a little bit scary. That's what the Yeti house is this year. The Yeti costumes are amazing. They're just tremendously tall Yetis, and it's really, really cool. So a great job by the creative team on the costumes for the Yeti house. I think the sets in there are really cool as well. You go back to like a 1950s campground, and you know, everything goes awry, there's Yetis everywhere. It was awesome. So I think as the year goes on and as we go in that house more and more, it's probably gonna climb up our list because it's a fun house. The costumes are really, really good, and then it has that campy element of it as well. So that's our thoughts on Yeti Campground Kills. Let's head back to HHN. It's our first time going through Vamp 69 at nighttime. We were here during the day. We got the motorcycles out over here.
You always have to come after me.
Across the way, look how awesome the projections look on the Men in Black show building. You see HHN 32 on the top left. You have all the symbols across the building. Looks awesome. So the house wait times are a little bit on the lengthy side right now. We're gonna take a little bit of a break and catch Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream. We're catching the final show of the night, which is going to be at 12:30. Now this is supposed to be a reimagining of last year, which was a reimagining of the year prior. So we're going to head inside and we'll let you know what we think once we get out, because you can't film during the show. So we got our spot over here in the theater for Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream. Got a pretty good spot. Again, we're not allowed to record during the show, so we won't be able to show you any of it, but we'll give you guys our thoughts once we're out. All right, house number 7, which might be our final house of the night, depending on how long this takes, is going to be Universal Monsters Unmasked. So we will let you know what we thought of Revenge Fuel once we get out of this. We'll review the Monsters house and this house at the same time, because this was a 20-minute wait, so we wanted to get in line right away before that goes up. What if we go in this house and it's just all ETs dressed up as like the Universal classic monsters?
That would be epic, but I don't think that that's what it's gonna be.
So we're about to head inside Universal Monsters Unmasked. This was like a 0-minute wait. I am very excited to head inside this house. Universal Monsters was my favorite house last year, and now we get it in the same location with a few different monsters, some ones that normally don't get some love. All right, so we just got out of Universal Monsters Unmasked, but before we talk about that house, let's talk about Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream, because that was really cool. Yeah. It was definitely a little bit different versus last year. If you saw last year's show, or even the year before that, it was very, very similar. They changed up some of the choreography, changed up some of the songs, added some cool new effects and tricks. Yeah. It's awesome. I always enjoy watching Nightmare Fuel. I know it's kind of like a polarizing show. You either love it or you hate it, or you're kind of sick of it, but I really enjoyed it, and this was a good like revamp.
Yeah, and last year that was like one of my favorite things to do. I loved the show last year, so I thought this was just as good. I like that they changed it up a little bit, so it wasn't like the same exact thing, and like Matt said, they added some new tricks in, which was cool too, so I really enjoyed it.
It still just blows my mind, like how they do some of those magic tricks.
I try and figure them out every time, like I really pay attention, and it just blows my mind every time.
Yeah, so we enjoyed that. We definitely recommend you checking that out if you're coming to HHN. Now let's talk about Universal Monsters Unmasked. Like I said, this was our favorite house last year when it was Legends Collide with the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy. And I was really excited coming into this house because they were featuring some monsters that normally don't get as much love as like Frankenstein and all those other guys. They had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Invisible Man, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the Phantom of the Opera. and it was a cool house.
Yeah.
I think last year's definitely had better sets, at least like more visually impressive sets.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed like the variety of monsters in here.
Yeah, and I don't know if we just had like a bad walkthrough, but there was definitely some empty boo rolls and some that like we missed the scares.
Yeah.
So we definitely are going to do it again throughout the season, and we'll see if it gets better. But I would have to agree that I think I liked last year's house better. But this one was still really cool too.
And we'll see how it evolves, because the
Yeah.
houses do change and do get better as the season goes on. So we might come next week and have like the greatest run through of the house, and it shoots up our list and becomes like #1.
Yeah.
And the same thing kind of happened with Stranger Things, where we missed a lot of the scares and we had to kind of like walk very, very slow in order to catch them again.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of the nature of the beast. That's just the way the houses go sometimes. So if you are coming more than once, you can't judge a house on the first night that you come, because a lot of times it does get better as the event goes on. All right, so that is going to do it for our night here at Universal for Halloween Horror Nights, the first of many this season. We have Frequent Fear Plus, so we will be here all the time. But overall, it was a pretty good night. We got a lot more done than I thought we were going to.
Yeah.
We got 7 houses done. We ate a little bit of food, nothing crazy, just had the walking taco. And then we got to see Nightmare Fuel, and that's pretty good for one night.
Yeah, and especially on opening weekend and Labor Day weekend, we thought it was going to be like impossible to do everything that we did. I mean, it was busy and the lines were long, but we got through like a lot of houses.
Oh yeah.
The only ones we didn't do tonight were The Exorcist,
Oddfellow,
and The
Last of Us. Yeah, so I think the next time we come out and do Stay and Scream, we're going to stay and scream for The Last of Us, because we didn't get a chance to do that today. But overall, I enjoyed tonight's event. There are a couple of things I think that they either can improve as the year goes on, or maybe it's just going to be the way it is this year. I do think, for the most part, the scare zones are a little bit lacking compared to last year. Vamp 69 is really good, and then the Jungle of Doom is really good, but Dark Zodiac, I feel like it's just like missing either set pieces or something. Like last year when the Graveyard was there, it was like super immersive. I just feel like that's missing a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the same for Shipyard 32. Like that one, I don't know. Each of the scare zones last year had like a little bit of a show and like a moment that they had.
Yeah.
At the witch one, they did that little show on the stage. This year, maybe we just didn't catch it tonight, but I feel like the scare zones were better in the past than they were. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think Vamp 69 is my favorite this year. Last year, my favorite was The Graveyard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like some of the scare zones could add a little more something to them.
A couple of them just feel like they're missing something, and I don't know what it is. Like, there's a lot of scare actors out there, but it just feels like it's missing something that would put it like over the edge and make it really good. So we'll see if they add any additions throughout the course of HHN, or if they change anything. We'll see as the season goes on. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with us tonight. If you did, make sure you give the video a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss out on all of our future videos to come. And with that being said, we'll see you guys real soon.